It's time for some outrageous predictions. Ohio State this is already outrageous. They're playing in a baseball field at Wrigley Field when they play Northwestern this weekend. I'm Steven, that's Stefan, and that's Andrew. Let's get weird about this. Andrew, what's your outrageous prediction?
Julian Sand, touchdown pass, Mylan Graham. I think Julian Sand's going to play a lot this week. I think this is a game where we saw a little bit of this against Purdue, where Julian Sand, I thought he looked pretty good despite not completing a pass, and I know that sounds funny, but I thought that he actually looked pretty accurate throwing the football. I think this is a game where you're going to want to just rotate because you have Indiana next week. That's a top 5 game. You have Michigan the week after. We all know the importance of that game. And then if you win these 3, you play Oregon, the number 1 team in the country, right after that. So, you could have a stretch of 4 games, 4 weeks, 2 top 5 opponents. Maybe the toughest game. People have said that Michigan game's the toughest game that they're going to play all year. It is a very, very unique thing. So I think this is the week where you want to focus on yourself. This is the week where you want to focus on getting other guys reps. I think Julian Sand's going to play a little bit. I think Mylan Graham's going to play a little bit. I think we're going to see really, really empty the bench on Ohio State's side of things. And I think we're going to see a touchdown pass from Julian Sand to Mylan Graham at Wrigley Field, which would be a real home run, if you ask me.
That was corny. That was so corny. That was so corny. Julian Sand, to your point, he threw 4 passes this past week against Purdue. None of them were his fault while they were incompletions. They were all on the money on somebody's hands. I think that's an interesting one. Let's see if they go that deep into the depth chart this week. I have an outrageous one, but first I'm going to let Stefan go. How are you going to get crazy?
Tyreek Williams' first career interception. Ball's going to get tipped in the air, a little pop-up, maybe around second base. He'll catch it. Get a nice little interception. I have zero logic for this outrageous prediction outside of just this game's being played in the baseball field, so maybe something weird will happen. And Northwestern's quarterbacks aren't particularly great, so maybe they'll get a pass tipped at the line, and Tyreek Williams will just land right in his hands. And we saw Jack Sawyer get his first touchdown at Ohio State last week. Tyreek Williams' first interception this week.
Tyreek Williams, the largest shortstop in the history of baseball. I love how you said popped up, too. Both of you are very, very corny. I'm going to join in on it. Will Howard's going yard 4 times. 4 touchdown passes, all of at least 35 yards. I think they're going to push the ball down the field, air it out, because they have to do it. They have to get reps in game for it. Not because they have to do it to beat Northwestern, but you got to do it to win a national championship more than likely. It's got to be something they have to connect on because they can't keep leaving touchdowns on the field. And that's been the biggest problem with the deep ball. Not that they're not connecting, it's that the ones they're missing on, they're 7 points. It's happened against Penn State. It happened against Nebraska. It happened this past weekend against Purdue. It happened at times in the preseason against non-conference opponents, which, of course, is where Julian's saying. Threw his first career touchdown pass, 51-yarder to Bennett Christian. Now he'll maybe get one to a wide receiver, according to Andrew right here. But I just think they're going to try to air it out, partially because I think they're going to try to want to get their starters out as quickly as possible. And how do you do that? You score points early and often, so you start there. But also, it's a chance for them to work on an element of their game where Northwestern's not terrible. They're 10th in the Big Ten in passing yards allowed per attempt. They've only allowed 11 touchdown passes, and they've had 7 interceptions. So it's at least a decent test for Will Howard to an extent. Listen, I'm trying. I'm not going to go full Ryan Day with it and go, this team is good. But at least it's enough of a type of a test to work on it and actually be able to take something from it when you want to put something on film. Those are outrageous predictions. Ohio State, Northwestern, noon inside Wrigley Field. That's opening pitch. Is at noon.
First pitch.
I said what I said. Opening pitch at noon Eastern time, Wrigley Field. I'm Steven. That's Andrew. That's Stefan. I don't know baseball, and it doesn't matter because I'm not watching a baseball game this weekend. Get to text 614-350-3315. 2-week free trial, $3.99 after that. See you later.